Can y'all hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Awesome. Hey guys, this is Michael here, long-term LTNC shareholder. Been with everyone since really 2021 for the most part, and excited to hear the spaces. Excited to hear everyone's takes on different things. I know I've been pretty silent for the most part over the past 5 or so years, but yeah, just share my takes and kind of my thoughts on just where everything is going, and looking forward to hearing the spaces here tonight.
Cool, awesome, thank you. So yeah, we're going to get started. I'm sure people are still rolling and stuff like that. Hello, LP Milan. If you want to request to speak, you can go ahead. I do just have a couple notes I want to go over with the annual report. I'm gonna get into. I have some bullet points I wrote down. I'll talk a little bit more about my experience with Thirst Responder. I have one right in front of me, and then we'll get into some of the Adios happenings. And at that point, anybody, if they want to speak on anything, have any questions or anything like that, we can talk about it. So let me get into some of the notes I have from what I've read. So from 2024 to 2025, we did see an increase of 10 million on our assets. Now, on the same token, we did increase 10 million on liabilities as well. So how do I look at that event? I look at it as kind of a neutral event. Obviously, when you're in a growth phase, especially in a high capital intensive industry like the distribution industry that we were, attempting, it's going to take money. So it's going to take liabilities. But being that, it kind of evened out 10 million on each side, I just call it a neutral event. It's good not to see it drop asset wise. Now getting into 2025, the revenue, we had 9 million in revenue, which is good to see. Obviously, we did not have that the year before in 2024. Now, I will say I did attend the second shareholder meeting. I think in 2024 when we just got Brad, we did have forecast of 24 to 30 million at that time. Obviously, we did not hit that due to various reasons, but I just wanted to bring that up. But seeing 9 million in revenue tangibly is good to see. Now, also is great to see is we only had $336,000 in net loss on operations, what was good to see as well. And then when you look at the consolidated net income, we only had a loss of $76,000, which again, from where we came from 2021 to be under $100,000 in net income loss off operations, that is a big positive. And as highlighted before in Brad's post and Culturo's post, in Q4 in 2025, we had a positive $260,000 gains on operations on income from operations, which is good to see. So we had a positive Q4. When you look back at the start of 2025, if you told any of us, in Q4 we would have positive operations when it comes to income, we would have took that all day. So I think we have to give respect where it's due to the company for that. Now, we did see a decrease, which is good, at $200,000 in SG&A. That's like administration expenses, selling, general administration, and stuff like that, from 2024 to 2025. But there was also an increase of professional fees and income. So I'd call that like a neutral event. They probably just shifted it a little bit. Now, what's also great to see is the net cash used in operation activities went down from 330,000 to 102,000 from 2024 to 2025. So what does that mean? Is in 2024 we used $300,000 in cash. We used over double, and I don't know how much of benefit we saw in 2024 with that net cash operations. Obviously, it takes a little bit for things to manifest, and I think we saw that in 2025 where we only used a net cash of 102,000, but we saw the growth that we did. So I think that's another positive. Now, at the end of the annual report, at the end of 2025 annual report, there was 21 billion shares outstanding on the report at that point, 21 billion. Now, if you look on OTCM right now, it's at 26 billion. So that's we're in April now. I mean, that's well over a billion shares a month that we diluted the stock. Obviously, I understand the reasons why we don't have a lot of free cash to pay for different things like that. I'm not saying that I don't understand why, but it is a concern that we need to consider. And so that's what I have on the notes. Now I want to talk about my thirst responder experience real quick. So I was going up to Boise for something else, but me and my girlfriend stopped in Idaho because on the thirst responder website, Save More Pharmacy in Twin Falls popped up. So I got excited. I haven't bought the water since it was locked in with the when we just started doing the white cans, and then we were having like Texas tea issues and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, we go. I was excited. I go in there. The workers were really excited. They said, hey, we've only had this for a couple of weeks and we've sold quite a bit of it. They said they bought cases themselves personally. I even saw some of the waters previously bought before I got in there. So I was really excited. And so we bought probably about 20 cans in total, me and my girlfriend. And then I knew the first one I was going to try the unflavored one because I needed to know if they got it correct. And so upon cracking one open, I tasted the diluted cucumber lime, which, it ruined my first initial experience of trying Thirst Responder for the first time. Now, I'm not saying this to overly criticize the company, but I just want to make sure I'm telling the truth, right? And so all the other flavors were good. My girlfriend ended up buying 2 cases online on her way back from Boise. So that was my experience. But overall, I enjoyed the different flavors. It still has that kick I enjoy from the hydrogen boost. And hopefully, if they can get the unflavored issue fixed, we have 2 product lines in Adios and Thirst Responder that can take us to the next level of where we want to be as a company. So I want to open up, if anything, Michael, if you want to say something. I know there's some other listeners that aren't on their profile, but if you want to bring anything up, Michael, you can.
Yeah, same thing here, Chess, from my side. I kind of experienced the same kind of tainted taste with the unflavored hydrogen water from Thirst Responder. And then as well, just a little bit with the past locked in shipment that I received as well. So to your point, quality control, if we can just pivot, get that fixed, squared away, I think we'll be in much better shape.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I'm glad I'm not the only one on that. I'm not crazy. And I've been told that, and I've told people that have a little bit of more say is that they're trying to work on it. They're trying to fix the problem. So hopefully they can get it fixed. What up, Woodolph? If you want to speak, Woodolph, just let me know. I'll invite you. But Michael, what are your thoughts on Adios? Where do you see this going? How do you feel about the rollout?
I mean, Adios is fire to me. I mean,
Okay.
I have bought DTC wise already multiple cases of it.
Wow.
And it's fire. I mean, to be honest with you, it really is. I'll have it on the weekends and things like that, and it's got a great taste to it. And I think we're in a position where we can really compete against the limited tequila seltzers out there. I've tried other tequila seltzers out there. It's not anything, great. I would say, you have your High Noon vodka, which is just dominating the market. In my opinion, I think we have something going here with a proper tequila seltzer. And so I think their strategy is on point, marketing it to music festivals and other festivals that we've kind of heard from. Mm-hmm. Just doing due diligence on the company, which is great. And yeah, I think we're in a great path for short-term sales when it comes to audios.
That's good. Yeah, I agree, and I believe we needed to pivot to something a little bit more easier than hydrogen water. Hydrogen water is a little fickle. We've had a lot of trouble, and historically, a lot of different other companies have had trouble too. So I kind of like how they say, hey, let's start with something a little bit more easier, higher margins, and I know Sean, he made an interesting point. I don't know if it was his mock-up on the Adios can or something he noticed on the website, is they took Costa Rica off the logo off the can, and he was just wondering, was that systematic? What does that mean? And I don't think necessarily that's a bad thing, because I felt like we potentially have too many logos on the can, even if they're making it for us, like white labeling it.
Exactly.
Like we had cookies on the can and Costa Rica on the can.
Exactly.
Like, are we a NASCAR vehicle? So I think it's a smart move just to clean it up a little bit. And I don't know where you're from, but I know someone that's in Atlanta, in like where they started the essentially the rollout base. And he said his local store, they've already have it on like automatic pre-order. It's done really well. So hopefully the rollout keeps going good. I'm curious as to why Massachusetts is the next major pinpoint. But we'll see how that works out.
Exactly. I mean, it's like what Brad said. I mean, kind of removing those third party, all those labels that we had. Right. At the end of the day, I think it makes the can look cleaner. And from an ownership perspective, I think it's a positive sign.
What do you think about the share structure? Like, how do you think we should attack it? What are your thoughts on a potential reverse split down the road if we have the right financials for it?
So that's a great question. I think from a reverse split standpoint, I still in full belief it would wipe out kind of the OG shareholders. I think we need some sort of external funding in some regard to stop some of that bleeding. And that the biggest positive thing for me was seeing that with the X Energy financial and that kind of contract coming to fruition. And I think there are some very positive possibilities down the pipeline that we can utilize that and help kind of ease the bleeding, as I say, in that regard. I'm still very much against a reverse split. I know shareholders have been here since 2021 and a lot even before. And that's my honest view. I think you're in the same agreement with me that like any reverse split, it's not good for any company. The share price, in general, all that. So that's kind of my take on that, and I'm really hoping we get some outside eyes on us with some really positive quarters in sales this year, and kind of going through in that route.
I agree. I've been told management is going to try to grind it out with retiring shares and just buying shares. So we'll see, but that's reassuring that I'm hearing that because that affects them too, and that affects their investment. Everybody who has put money into the stock at this point, even via private placements and discount deals like that, they get bagged in a reverse split.
Exactly.
So we'll see about that. I do think hopefully after Adios and Thirst Responder gets on the ground, I hopefully they get to the coffee. I think they're really underselling the coffee and its potentiality. Yes, it's a competitive market, but not many coffees have nootropics in it. And we just have a good tasting coffee, and we can branch it off to at least 2 extra SKUs of having like a blonde roast and having a dark roast, because right now I think it's a medium roast. So we can even have a light roast with something else. So hopefully in the future, I think they do that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely a hit. It seems like everyone is on board with that when it comes to the coffee. And I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to share structure, it's how's the company pay? We are low on cash, you know. When you look at the past, reports at the end of the day, and people want to talk about it, left and right. But at the end of the day, it's like people gotta get paid. Who are pushing it forward, and
100%. So it's been about 20 minutes. It's all good. Not a lot of people came on, but I'm still gonna put this on YouTube so people can listen to it and come to their own conclusions. Woodolph, do you have anything you would like to add? Michael, would you have any closing thoughts on what you see this company doing in 2026? What are your hopes? What are your grand dreams for this company? Because I would say my grand dream is still, hopefully we get bought out by Coca-Cola. I do believe that when you look at the race of functional beverages and where the beverage market is going, obviously soda is dying in that retrospect, but a lot of these companies are trying to get functional beverages off the ground. Pepsi, that's why they bought Celsius. Coca-Cola, that's why they attempted with Body Armor. They spent way too much money with Body Armor. And I do feel like Coca-Cola is putting themselves in a position where they're going to have to take a stab on a company like us.
Right.
So that's what I believe. What about you?
So in my view, and this is pretty much my biggest question when I came into this call, is we obviously have a clear-cut strategy for Adios. What is our strategy for Thirst Responder? I know we're in pharmacies and all that, but from a marketing and advertising, perspective, kind of what is the company's vision to get that word out there? At the end of the day, because we are fighting the bears. There are folks out there that still, don't fully know, just educational wise, about hydrogen water. Let's just call it that. It's definitely grown since 2021, I would say. But there still is that population from an educational perspective that just doesn't know about it. And so that's definitely a bear case for us. So it's like, what is our strategy for Thirst Responder, to get those sales in the door for that brand?
I agree. All right, that was good. Good, quick 20 minutes. Again, Michael, hey, are you good and plenty on Discord?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, all right. I just put it together. Okay. Woodolph, you got something to say? What you got, butter? Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I love that you do this little segment, by the way. It's the evening here in Florida. So with what do you call it? With lock-in, I don't think they have hit the full potential yet, because where I'm at, I don't think a lot of people know about it. It's a great drink, a good energy drink. For example, I'm always working on the road, especially near the airport here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And during
Hello? You lost you. Hello? Woodolph? Dang. All right. Are you coming back, Woodolph? You cut out. But thank you for that, Woodolph. I know you can pop on here a lot when I do these spaces. Hopefully they do get into Florida, which I feel like if you think about when they try to relaunch Locked In, they should be going to Florida with like the fitness, the health and wellness. And I do believe they still should try to get a higher PPM than like the 2.2 that they're putting on the cans for Thirst Responder. I think it is going to be a race for higher PPM later down the road if hydrogen water really does take a foothold in the market. Brian Bliss, hello. We've been on for a little bit. Brian, this is your opportunity. If you have anything to say, this is your chance. We're just talking. All right. No worries. Okay. I'm gonna close it up. Woodoff, thank you for popping on. Oh, you're coming back. Okay, you're coming back. Okay. All right, you back. Are you back? All right. Hello, I got you. Yeah. Woodoff. Hello. Are you speaking? All right. Sorry, Woodoff. All right. Good and plenty. Thanks for coming on. I'm gonna close it up. Let's keep the conversation going. You guys have a good evening. This is gonna be on my YouTube, and I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, Jess.
Yep.